Scott, thank you so much. It's great to have you here back in the recording den. Quick public service announcement, if you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us and you hear sounds of people packing, it's because people are packing. We're at the 2023 exhibition hall at the Grant Professionals at the GrantSummit. So hearing things, seeing things, it's all good. So no need to email us about what's going on.
The sound quality. We know.
We're safe. We have mics. It's all good. So, Scott, first of all, congratulations on your induction. I'm reading to make sure I get it right, into the 2023 class of Distinguished Fellows of the Grant Professional Association.
Thank you, and I think I have finally recovered from my attempt at a speech yesterday.
It was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was beautiful. I just love because it was from the heart, clearly, and I'm like, that's who I want to see win these things. People who are like, I love this profession so much that this means so much to me.
And for people who weren't there, is it okay if I just say that you were visibly moved by the award? It was heartfelt.
Yes, and completely caught off guard by the wave that, my mother said later, we had a dinner. She said, but we're Italian, we're an emotional people.
Okay, now, okay, fair.
But
fair.
we've all heard you speak before, and you are always
you
on,
are Mr.
like you are
Composed.
composed.
And I usually am. But just something came over me. And of course, my mother, who had flown herself in from Florida alone, she's 83, and my wife was there, my sons, and of course, looking out at all those faces, and it just struck me. And really, as I think I said, a tribute to a 35-year career.
Yep.
This is all I have known.
Yeah.
For 35 years.
Well, it all came together, and it was an amazing experience.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, as a part of that, one of the reasons that there's an application process, right, Amanda? There's all the letters and all sorts of things that you may have experienced, Scott. But part of, I think, what made
and
it.
may I add, a year in the making.
Oh.
I mean, it's nothing that just happens. I understand it's a year.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
the
you're
application process, the review,
the whole thing takes.
It's not like $1,000 online application to Walmart. I think we can safely say.
As someone who has written more than one of those applications for the Hall of Fame, it is a lot, especially when you're writing about somebody else. Like, it's one thing to write about an organization you know and you love and you eat and you sleep and you breathe it. But when you're writing about someone, even though you know them, you don't how do you catalog 35 years of history? Like, I may have known you for 2 years, but I didn't know you 35 years ago. How would I write that? And let's be clear, I didn't write Scott's. He had a lovely friend who wrote that for him. And but it is a behemoth of an application. So someone loves you very much
to
put that
after
together.
The fact that there's a lot of going behind the candidate's back.
Yes, there is.
Yes, to get the info you
to
need.
Family members.
There's a lot of skullduggery around the application.
LinkedIn only gets you so far.
That's true.
Anyway, it was wonderful, and I'll never forget it. And I'm going to make a nice space for that lovely award, which I only got to see really last night.
Oh.
Back at the room, I said to my wife, "Where's the award? I didn't even get a chance to look at it. I was so overcome with it all." She said, "Oh, it's right over here." I said, it's heavy and it's nice.
It's weighty.
Yes.
Deservedly so.
I'm thrilled.
One of the many things that came out of all the accomplishments over 35 years, and one of the reasons we wanted to talk to you was all about all the service work, or you could say pro bono service work that you do not only here but also in Haiti. Your support of the Grant Professionals Foundation as a board member and as a donor. All of these things came up in that description, talking about your award, but I'm wondering if you could help people understand why that's so important to you and something that they should maybe think about.
Yeah, well, in my case, certainly I would say the seed was planted early on. As rural products, I suppose, of our environment and our upbringing. I was raised even though I was born in the United States, I was raised in an immigrant community in Brooklyn, New York, and Italian was spoken in certainly my grandparents' home fluently, and all self-employed people, not very well educated people, but incredibly intelligent people, who knew the value of hard work, and as my grandfather, Vincenzo, said, you give back to the community that feeds you.
Okay.
Now, he meant that probably partially from a literal standpoint, and then also you give back to the community that supports you.
Yeah.
Right.
And so from a young child, that was in my head. Now, you could forget all of that as you get older, but I never really did. And I've been in this industry, as I said, 35 years on my own for half of that time. And I decided that, and it was very natural, it wasn't even a major awareness, that I was going to give back to the very community that has fed me all these years. And I started slowly. And I guess my message to people is, you don't have to do anything grandiose, nor do you have to be in an industry for 35 years.
You don't.
You could be doing it 5 years, 10 years. I started by taking on one client at a time that I would write for free. And I say a client, one organization. So in my case, it's a HayDay ministry that I've worked very closely with for about 10 years now. In addition to that, I've participated and continue a mentorship with one specific person. I speak sometimes and do trainings sometimes for free. You have to be selective about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
For free, and I give back through my church. Find a way that's right for you, and for me, that's what's right for me. But this will continue until I'm no longer here on earth, and I will just be a constant part of my life. And I benefit as much from the experience as those that I'm helping benefit from the experience.
How would you describe the benefits to you? I'm curious how you would describe that.
It's really, both parties are giving, and when I write grants for the HayDay ministry, I just am very satisfied knowing that I'm helping to feed children at the school that we sponsor, knowing that children don't typically eat as part of school time.
Over there. Yeah.
Lunch.
Right.
Yeah, it's not a standard, it's an option. So I know that I'm supporting that, and the greater good, it comes back to you.
Yeah.
It comes back to you.
Does.
And having two sons who are now young men, that's just by demonstrating that, by modeling that, they're now picking up that way of life at 25 and 19.
It's
I
the
bet that-
Vincenzo effect.
The Vincenzo.
See,
Well, and that has to make your heart feel so good too, to see that that tradition has carried on into your own. Without you having, I'm sure you didn't beat them over the head. It was
No,
just,
he said nothing about it.
yeah, you just did it, and they were like, "Dad did it, so I'm going to do it."
I said, come
I
with
love
me to
that.
the soup kitchen. The church has also a soup kitchen.
Sure.
Come with me to the soup kitchen. Okay,
Yeah.
Dad. Dishing out the meals
Yeah,
and
yeah.
meeting with the people and communicating with them and other children coming through, which is always challenging to see
Yeah.
young children come through. You don't even have to talk about it as much as you have to demonstrate it and model it. Yeah. I know you
Absolutely.
have children.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Kimberly too.
So,
Yeah.
yes,
So
You're
you
showing, you're
model
not
it.
telling, because telling will get you nowhere with
Yeah.
children.
Right.
yes,
Not a
You have to
nowhere.
model it.
that's
Great.
beautiful. Well, and you give back too. We talked earlier with Reagan, the president of the Grant Professionals Foundation. You've given back by serving on that board,
Yep.
and you've set up a scholarship fund through that as well, if I'm remembering correctly.
You are remembering correctly. I was on the board for 5 years.
Uh-huh.
And I only stepped off, I would have continued, I only stepped off prior to the 6th year because the next level training for GPA was taking off and occupying
Right.
A lot of
a
your
lot of my
time.
time.
Yes.
And I said very graciously, I really need to step
Yeah.
away. However, in 2019, my wife and I were kind of chatting casually about Christmas, and I said, I have an idea. What about we forego the presents for each other?
Yeah.
What do you think about starting a scholarship program
Nice.
through GPA? And I said, but how about it being specific to the early career professional? So it's the Scot and Tracy Scala Early Career Professional Membership Scholarship. And it's designated as such because that's really where we see the future is. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, but
And that is good to know, by
But
the
we're
way.
not going to live forever,
No.
either,
right.
right?
No,
What did I
no.
say yesterday? I'm still kicking butt.
Yes.
You did indeed.
Yes.
And I'm still kicking butt, and for many years to come, I hope. But we do need to support the new early career professionals, and that's where we saw the need. In fact, just a little snippet, spoiler alert, I guess.
Oh,
Just-
an exclusive. Lay it on us.
We haven't told the foundation, but we're probably going to double our scholarship
Oh,
for 2024
that's lovely.
and continue
Yes.
that in perpetuity. In fact, it's even in our trust papers.
Wow. Wow.
So when I'm no longer here, when Tracy's no longer here, the boys will continue that.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I know,
Thank
I
you for
love that.
telling
What a great
us.
idea.
Sure.
No one will know.
No one will know. So, well,
That is amazing. Thank you so much for, at the end of a long day of conferencing fun, for coming down here and lifting our hearts and inspiring folks to go out and do the same, to do what they can do.
Do
what
what
makes
you
sense.
Find what resonates with you, what's meaningful to you, and then impart that to the population that you wish to serve, whether it be an individual, an organization, a religious organization, whatever it may be. Again, it doesn't have to be international, it doesn't have to be Haiti, it could be right there in your own community.
yeah.
And
Well, and
start there.
it doesn't have to be money either, because a lot of people, I don't have the money to give, but do you have an hour? Do you're a grant writer, could you do one, even if you did one pro bono grant, what would that mean for an organization? It could mean a lot.
Or casual coaching.
Yeah.
Right?
Meet me over coffee.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I'll meet you over coffee and guide you a little bit with this issue you're facing or your new career.
Right.
Or maybe you're thinking about going into consulting, or maybe you're 45 or 50 years old and you're frustrated with working with the for-profit sector and you want to go into the nonprofit sector. It could look like many things.
I was just laughing because I'm like, yes, because the nonprofit sector is so easy and straightforward and clear. Just going to be a straight shot to what you want to achieve. But actually, people can bring a lot of transferable skills over there with someone to guide them. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
To kind of find what they're meant to do. It's a trickle-down effect,
absolutely.
you know.
Well, thanks again, Scott.
Yeah,
Really
thanks for
appreciate it.
joining us.
Amanda. Pleasure.
Yes.